Good afternoon, metalheads, and welcome to another episode of Metal Sanctuary. One of the newest videos for me to actually be on video instead of the recorder phone conversations with myself and Buddy Porter. Enjoyed doing the debates with him. We will do another one tonight. It won't really be a debate, but stay tuned for that one. Today I'm going to do the top 10 albums from 1981. The last time I did a year was 1980, and so that was a little bit of a difficult year for me to really choose a top 10 because I really kind of had to dig to find two extra spots for the top 10. This year, a little more of the same, a lot of the more well-known acts from the 80s and the hard rock scene were releasing records at this time. Van Halen and also Motley Crue among them, but I don't feel that those are metal records or metal bands for that matter. So it was a little tedious, but nonetheless I was able to bring up 10 strong albums from 1981. At number 10, the debut record from Anvil, Canadian band, kind of mixing a little bit of speed and new wave of British heavy metal. Not quite thrash, but definitely a band that was an influence on a lot of the thrash bands and especially the speed metal bands in Canada. Their debut record, Hard and Heavy. At number 9, go back to Britain like we did in 1980. Ravens, Rock Till You Drop. Songs like Hard and Heavy and Hell Patrol are highlights of this record. Raven, a band that would a couple of years later take Metallica under their wing in touring in the Northeast in America. At number 8, Saxon, Denim and Leather, probably the most well-known record title by Saxon. I don't know if I necessarily say it's their greatest, but definitely 1981, a strong record. Songs like Princess of the Night and Rough and Ready, also the title track. This also seemed to be really synonymous with the look of the times for metal, being the denim jackets and the jeans, or the leather jackets and the studs. So not just a great record song-wise, but a great record, kind of like the post-70s version of Hellbent for Leather from Judas Priest, not from a song standpoint, but carrying on that tradition of songs and records that just portrayed metal. At number 7, Accept's Breaker. Not just the title track, but also songs like Can't Stand the Night and Son of a Bitch. Really hard driving record from Accept. At number 6, Def Leppard's second record. They also appeared on the 1980 list. Their second record, High and Dry. This pretty much would be their last strictly metal record. After that, they would put out Pyromania, which had a lot more of a poppy sense and feel. They were leaning more towards what MTV was trying to put out at the time. But a very great record. The first two Def Leppard records, really great record. Going back to America with number 5, with Riot, out of New York, the Fire Down Under record. And it's got my favorite Riot song on it, Swords and Tequila. And Outlaw also being another really great song on this record. Riot, a band that really gets overlooked. I don't remember if I put them in my underrated bands list or not. I know they were definitely on the in the cut to make it, but a strong kind of leaning into power metal later on. Definitely had some progressive tendencies. Had a very new wave of British heavy metal sound for an American band that wasn't trying to just blend the new wave of British heavy metal with something else like the thrash movement would later do in a couple more years. And number 4, not just a great record in itself, but a very influential record for the years to follow 1981, Venom's debut, Welcome to Hell. This brings after Sabbath, the first real kind of dark and satanic and occult-like themes to the music, and not just the music. They also they took what Priest did with the look and kind of added this Kiss type element with the fire and the pyro and stuff. And it would definitely have a huge influence on, a few years later, the early black metal scene, and just a couple of years after this release, a lot of the original thrash bands. At number 3, the second record for Ozzy in his solo career, also the last record to feature guitarist Randy Rhoads, who died at a very young age after this record. Diary of a Madman, great songs on this record. Not just the title track, Believer, just Over the Mountain, Flying High Again. This, to me, I think between the two records that he did with Randy, is the best one, not just from a musical standpoint, but I feel that I think the songs were a little bit more structured. And what's interesting is both these records were recorded at the same time, so they would be able to release one after another, but they have some slightly different things going on, which is usually the case with bands or artists that record 2 records at one time, or make enough songs for 2 records at one time. Usually the second record has a different feeling to it. Number 2, Ozzy's old band, Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. Great record. Sign of the Southern Cross, probably one of the better songs on that record. Also, Mob Rules as well. Again, keeping Black Sabbath relevant post-Ozzy. Number 1, as with the list from 1980, is also Iron Maiden with their second record, Killers. This record would be the last to feature Paul Di'Anno, and was the first to feature Adrian Smith on guitar. Just classic songs that they continue to still play live. Songs like Wrathchild and Murders in the Rue Morgue, Killers. You've got some really strong kind of acoustic instrumental type songs on this record as well. Very more progressive past what they did on their first record, which had more kind of like a punkish feeling, and this one was more like a strict new wave of British heavy metal record, and was probably the sign of musically the things to come when they decided to bring in Bruce Dickinson after Paul Di'Anno, and you can definitely tell where the more melodic progress from Iron Maiden would come in on later releases. So that's my top 10 for 1981. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Leave me a message if you want to get a question answered for my Ask Me Anything video, which still only has one question. Definitely put your top 10 if you have a top 10 that's different. Also, if you want to do a phone debate like I've been doing with Buddy recently, contact me. You can leave me a message on here. You can, if you want to find me on Facebook, I can post my Facebook username. Also, you can Facebook message me as well. So, till later tonight, stay metal and God bless.